Assalamualaikum kepada Sarwan. We are from Group A. We're going to present about our finding for constructive and error analysis, comparative grammatical error analysis of F1 spoken English in series using Carter's 1973 error analysis framework in constructive perspective. So we're going to proceed to our group members.
Hello, I am Muhammad Fadil Fikri bin Ahad.
I am Muhammad Nur Putra Ramallah bin Hussein.
I am Nuizati Ali binti Safri.
I am Nurshazwan Azmi.
I am Siti Nurmaisarah binti Sekarnot.
I am Cik Nur Ain Barkis binti Cik Mazlan.
So without wasting time, with to the first presenter, Fadil.
Alright, so I'm going to talk about the background of the study. So, as we know, English is a global language used across professional and casual domains. And in non-native contexts, like Malaysia, spoken English often contains grammatical errors due to first language L1, which interference, right? Alright, and as we know, Chef One is a renowned Malaysian celebrity chef that frequently appears in international cooking shows. So he used English when he's going international, and his speech presents a valuable opportunity to analyze real-life spoken grammar from a non-native speaker. Next, for this study, we apply Coder's 1973 error analysis model to identify, classify, and explain the grammatical errors in Chef 1 spoken English. So we aim to do a better understanding for common learner difficulties, especially in spoken performance.
Next is the problem statement. Many second language Alto English speakers struggle with grammatical accuracy in spontaneous speech because in spontaneous speech we tend to speak what we have in our mind as long as the other people know what we want to talk about. Next, even Chef Wan, a well-renowned Malaysian celebrity chef, also often makes noticeable grammatical errors when speaking English informally, even though he is involved in international cooking shows. He also often makes the grammatical errors in speaking. Next, these errors offer insight into a difference from Malay L1 and common intralingual challenge. As we know, Chef Wan, his first L1 is Malay, so he tend to make a mistake when he speaks. So as we know, intralingual challenge is misuse of rules like overgeneralization and simplification. So when Chef Wan want when Chef Wan tend to speak in English, he tend to make a mistake. Next, there is limited research analyzing such real-life speech using formal error analysis model. This study aims to identify error types and causes by Chef Wan using the Coder's 1973 error analysis framework.
So for the research objective and research questions, for research objective, we identify and categorize the grammatical errors made by Chef Wan in selected cooking show videos using Corder's 1973 error analysis framework. And the second one, to analyze the possible causes of the identified grammatical errors, interlingual versus intralingual. And for the research questions, we have two. First one, what types of grammatical errors are made by Chef Wan in selected cooking show series? And the second one, what are the possible causes of these grammatical errors? I will pass to the next.
Now I'm going to present about the significance of the study. So the first one is the study is to shed lights on the real world language usage of a non-native English speakers in a professional cooking show genre. The second one is it benefits language educators and learners by identifying frequent grammatical issues and their causes in authentic speech. The third one is it provides insight for linguistics and researchers into how interlingual and intralingual factors influence spoken errors in English. The last one is it contributes to the growing field of error analysis and applied linguistics by applying Corder's 1973 taxonomy to media discourse.
So for a literature review summary, first is error analysis. So EA was introduced by Coder in 1973. So it focused on identify and analyze the error that made by learners when using L2. So the purpose is not just to point out the mistake, but to understand how learners develop their language skill, what they know and what they struggle with. So next according to Coder taxonomy, he categorized error into four, which is omission, addition, misinformation, and misordering. So, for omission, this is when a learner leave out a necessary word or grammatical element. For addition, this occur when a learner inserts something that is unnecessary. Number three, misinformation. So this happens when a learner use wrong form or word of structure. Number four, misordering. This refer to incorrect word order, like what you are doing instead of what are you doing, like that. So next is contrastive analysis hypothesis (CAH) by Lado, 1957. Lado proposed the CAH. According to this theory, many errors occur because of the differences between learner L1 and the L2. So when learner apply rule from their mother tongue, those in English, so those rules that like don't match, so it cause error. Next, there are two types of error, which is interlingual and intralingual. So interlingual error happen because the influenced by the L1 for the learners, and intralingual errors is errors that caused by the confusion within the second language itself. That's it.
For research methodology for our findings, we use research design, a qualitative descriptive studies using error analysis based on Corder's 1973 taxonomy, where we identify and classify language mistake. For data collection, we use data that come from four cooking videos where chefs speak in English. The spoken words are written down, transcribed for analysis. For instrument, we use manual analysis of occurrence based on the Corder's classification. We have omission, addition, misinformation, misordering. And for procedures, we use a step-by-step process where first we transcribe chef one speech from the videos, and the second one we identify and categorize errors based on the four types above, and the last one we analyze why the error happens, whether they are interlingual or intralingual. So I pass to the next presenter.
Okay, so for our data analysis and finding summary, the total videos that we have analyzed are 4, and the sources we got are from Chef One's spoken English in cooking show settings, and the error types identified by Corder 1973 are omission, addition, misformation, and also misordering. Next slide, please. Okay, so for the first example that we have in the table from video 1 at 2 minutes 7 seconds, Chef 1 says, which is actually comprised of all the wonderful recipe from all over the world. And the error here is classified as misformation, it involving both the plural marker and the misuse of the passive form. And the corrected version is which actually comprises all the wonderful recipes from all over the world. The possible causes is intralingual interference, where there is confusion over the use of passive voice and pluralization in English. And then the second example from video 1 at 2 minutes and 24 seconds is the utterance, you got cooked. So this is also a misformation specifically in the question structure. And the correct form should be did you cook or do you cook? And this mistake likely stems from interlingual interference where the direct translation from Malay leads to the omission of the correct auxiliary verb and needed to form a proper English question. Next slide please. So we have the third example in it comes from video 2 at 1 minute 1 second where chef 1 says and all this wearing your face. This is an omission error where both the subject and the preposition are missing and the corrected sentence is and all of us are wearing our face mask. So the cause here is intralingual where there is a tendency to simplify the sentence structure and possibly influenced by patterns from the first language. For the fourth example from video 2 at 13 minutes 36 seconds, the sentence we had even steamboat coming from the river is another case of misformation, and it's specifically the omission of the article a, and the correct version is we even had a steamboat coming from the river. And this is likely caused by intralingual interference where articles are often forgotten, and it especially by speakers of languages that don't use articles in the same way. And the fifth example from video 3 at 6 minutes 39 seconds where chef 1 says, so this fried mee hoon, look at that. This is an omission error related to subject verb agreement, and the corrected sentence is so this fried mee hoon looks at that, and the error is due to intralingual confusion where the rules of subject verb agreement are not applied correctly. Next slide please. For the sixth example that we have from video 4 at 23 minutes 50 seconds, the utterance we destroying the whole civilization is a misformation error in tense. So the correct form is we are destroying the whole civilization. The cause here is a intralingual omission of the auxiliary verb are are, which is essential for forming the present continuous tense in English. And finally, for the last video, in the seventh example that we have from video 4 at 11 minutes 8 seconds, chef 1 says, everything is concrete, you tall store building. And this is another misformation, it involving missing articles and incorrect plural noun usage. The corrected sentence should be everything is concrete. You have all these tall buildings. The likely cause of this error is interlingual interference, where the omission of articles and plural markers reflects the influence of Malay, which does not mark definiteness or plurality in the same way as English. And this common error source, it illustrates a mix of intralingual and interlingual influences on the learner's language production, and it highlighting the importance of understanding both L1 interference and second language developmental errors in contrastive analysis. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Next is the finding summary. So the first one, we found the most frequent error types, which are misinformation, incorrect verb forms, subject verb agreement issues. Next is omission, missing auxiliary and articles. As we know, Malay don't have the auxiliary or articles like and the. So that's why chef one tend to make mistake in spoken language. For example, here we had even steamboat coming from the river is the wrong one, and the right one is we even had a steamboat coming from the river. So chef one omit the word article because in Malay we don't have auxiliaries and articles. Next is addition, redundant structure. Next is most common causes is interlingual transfer, influence from the L1 Malay, especially in verb structure and question formation. So, Chef Wan native language is Malay. So, that's why he tend to make a mistake in verb structure and question formation between Malay to English. Next, we have intralingual interference. Learners' internal confusion in applying English grammar rules. So Malay and English don't have a different grammar rules. So that is why Chef Wan confused in applying the English grammar rules to translate Malay to the English. Next. Next, we have the consistent patterns identified. Error mostly appears in spontaneous, unscripted conversation. As I said before, when we tend to speak, we speak in a spontaneous and we just state what we have in the mind. As long as the other person know what we want to talk about. So that is the reason why the grammatical error occurs when we speak. Next, Chef One's speech reflects fluent but unmonitored spoken English, resulting in structural inaccuracy. Even though Chef One is a renowned Malaysian celebrity chef and tend to make international TV cooking shows, he also tend to make a mistake in spoken language. So that's why it's resulting in structural inaccuracies. Code switching and informal context contribute to relaxed grammar use. So the video show that is in the informal setting. So that is the reason it can contribute to the relaxed grammar use.
Now we're going to talk about the discussion of findings. So in the first video, which is the Bonar podcast, Chef One frequently use code switching between English and Malay. Errors observed include subject-verb, disagreement, and redundant structures. For example, she always cook like that, which is supposed to be she always cooks like that. So for the second video, which is where Hawa eats, error mainly involves tense consistency and misinformation. For example, karab means salad instead of karabu means salad, likely caused by L1 interference and informal setting. Next slide, please. So in video 3, which is East bites West, the grammatical errors such as article misuse and omissions can be seen. For example, you make a big B instead of you make a big beans. Some errors occur during some spontaneous speech under stress. So in video 4, which is in which is morning work, errors mainly involve tense more complex information due to code mixing and performing in a multilingual environment, which is in this situation is Arabic with English. So in the error includes auxiliary misuse and missing connectors. I'll pass it to my presenter.
Alright, for limitations of the study, we find that we have a limited data source because the analysis was restricted to only 4 specific cooking show videos featuring Chef One. So this may not represent the full range of his language use in other contexts. And we only focus on one speaker. So the study solely focused on Chef One's English, excluding the guest or host responses, which may have affected conversational context or correction cues. Next slide. And we do have time constraints due to time limitations. We only have a limited number of to find a limited number of errors per analyzed from each video. So these may not fully capture the entire spectrum of Chef One's language accuracy or error patterns.
So for recommendation, first is for English language educator. We recommend by incorporate authentic spoken materials into classroom practice. So this can include unscripted interviews, casual dialogues, or even clips from YouTube or reality shows. So unlike textbook English, real life spoken language includes natural grammar variations and typical speech errors. So by expose this to student, to this, we help them develop better listening skill and more realistic. So next is for learners. So it's important to recognize that making error is natural part of language learning. So instead of fearing mistake, students should focus on becoming more self-aware, especially in tricky areas like subject-verb agreement and verb tense usage. So keeping a language journal, recording themselves speaking or practicing peer feedback can be some of useful strategies for improve their English L2. So next for future researcher, we also encourage future researchers to conduct studies on a large scale using a wider variety of video content. So this include different genres such as cooking shows, blog, interview, or anything, even podcast. So doing this will allow us to identify broader error trends and see how spoken grammar differs across context and speaker's background. Next. Lastly, for content creators, so especially those with international audience, it is important to be mindful of language accuracy. So if the content is intent to help others learn English or reach a wide audience, small effort like using subtitles or clarify unclear speech can reduce misunderstandings that caused by spoken grammar errors. So this not only support learner but also increase the professionalism and accessibility of the content itself.
Uh, Okay, conclusion for our study. First, we have this study revealed that Chef once spoken English across four videos appearances contain systematic grammatical errors, particularly in spontaneous and unscripted context. In accordance 1973, error taxonomy helped categorize errors into addition, omission, misinformation, and misordering, with misinformation and subject-verb agreement errors being the most dominant. And for error, were mostly caused by intralingual factors such as overgeneralization and simplification, with some interlingual influence due to the code switching or language one interferences. And the fourth one, we have the cultural and casual settings of each video influence the level of language formality and accuracy, revealing how context shapes spoken grammar. These findings support the idea that non-native speakers, even for proficient ones like Chef One, may uh, produce consistent errors pattern in message speech. A valuable insight for both language teaching and pragmatic discourse analysis. So this is for our references in our research. And thank you.